Hello everybody, my name is David and this is David K Reacts, and I'm coming here as Super Future David, which will make sense in a moment, with a quick apology. Unfortunately, during the course of editing together the video that you're about to watch, some of the footage actually became corrupted. I didn't realise this in time, and unfortunately the backup that I have is saved with the corrupted footage as well. I hadn't realised while I was working on it that there was a bit of corruption in there, and there was a glitch that showed up in my video, and I was inserting a bit of info from Future David anyway, and I put it right where that glitch was to help cover it. Thought it would be smoother for you folks. And when I bounced the video down, I was in a bit of a rush because I had to go out that night and get some stuff done, and so I wanted it to be ready to go, and I didn't realise it had bounced down incomplete. The render was missing about 10 minutes from the front of the video. Everything leading up to that little glitch. I think when you're working with media, it is inevitable that at some point in time you are eventually going to create something that doesn't quite work right, and today's that day for me. I'm frustrated. I'm going to double up on my backup of any footage that I make to make sure that this never happens again, or at least to do my best. But I'm very sorry to say that the reaction to Man of Constant Sorrow is gone. I'm very, very disappointed about that because while I was looking through it, it was a really fun reaction. But one silver lining, almost every beat that I hit during the reaction, I then hit again during the analysis. So you are going to see the majority of my reaction because I basically reacted to this twice. But sadly, it's not the very first one, and I'm sorry about that, but I hope you enjoyed the analysis anyway. So this is going to be my analysis only of Geoff Castellucci's cover of Man of Constant Sorrow. Thank you very much for bearing with me as I deal with that little hiccup. I hope that you enjoy what is to follow. I did want to say my usual, please welcome back to the channel. Welcome if this is your first time being here. The way I would normally work, this is not a regular video for me, is I would watch the video through from beginning to end, and then I would watch it again and analyse based on the information I had from having watched it the first time. This, of course, doesn't quite work like that. It's going to be a single watch through that is an analysis, but I do have the foreknowledge of having seen it once, so I will be using that to create the analysis that you see here. Unfortunately, I'm just not able to share the reaction at this point. Please do like the video if you enjoy it, and do know that I do more usually. Do subscribe to the channel so that you can see more of my work. You can hit the notification bell to decide how often you're notified when one of my videos goes live, and if you'd care to, please do head over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts. And because I'm filming this extra Super Future David bit, I can also say thank you to Jasper Tree, who recently bought me some coffees. I am very grateful to you for supporting the channel. Thank you very much indeed. And without any further delay, I'm going to hand over to Future David, who is back on the day that I recorded this originally, with a tiny bit of extra information, and after that we will be going through to my analysis of Man of Constant Sorrow. I did just want to say I didn't say much about this song before we began the video because I did cover this song once before. This is a first in that I'm covering a song I have actually covered before on the channel. So for any information about the history of the song, go here. I'm going to put a link up, or a card. Sorry, it'll be up here, won't it? I'll put a card there to my reaction of Home Free singing Man of Constant Sorrow, and I talk about the history of the song there. I'm not going to spend more time doing that now, and I didn't in my original reaction either. So yes, without further delay, here is Future David, and then onto the analysis. Thank you for bearing with me, I really appreciate it. Hi, Future David jumping in with a quick note. I wanted to say this, and actually started to during the reaction to this, but I didn't know if I had permission to do so. I have since acquired that, and I would like to recommend a spectacular blog on chord analysis and some bits of song structure and so on as well. And that is Confessions of a Chord Junkie. It is written by Angie Woolard, who is in the voice play fandom, and it goes into excellent detail about the songs that she chooses to cover, including this one. And I wanted to mention it particularly because she caught some really cool things that I didn't. I don't go into crazy amounts of detail because I only see these videos twice, well, once straight through and once in repeated bits during the course of these videos, and it's very, very difficult for me to catch everything, especially since I'm not sitting here with a piano. So I wanted to recommend that you go over and check that out because it's particularly well written. This is the first of hers on VoicePlay or Geoff, that I've got to actually read, because it's the first video that she's written about that I've also covered on the channel, and I really, really enjoyed what she had to say. So please do go out and check it out. Even there's going to be a link right here, and I will put one down in the description as well. So yes, that's Confessions of a Chord Junkie. Do check that out. Back to Past David for the rest of the video. That was amazing. So here we go. In constant sorrow all through his day. How many things are there to like about this intro? First, it's nice starting with all 4 Geoffs. That's not always what we get. Obviously, Monster Mash we did. What else have I covered of Geoff's? But there's a lot of things like Way Down, where we saw just the one, and then the other 3 got introduced slowly as it went on. I guess 16 Tons had the 4 Geoffs. It's always fun. And I like that we have... Like, presumably the bottom of each Geoff is the same. I'm seeing the same belt buckle on 1 and 3 here. But the fact that they're... oh, and I think the wrists... It's just the shirt that's changed. But it's such a simple thing, but it creates 4 characters. And even though those 4 characters are the same person, it's a nice visual distinction. And of course, we actually get Geoff number 5 in this one, which is the... Geoff who's actually walking down the tracks. That's really nice. Again, it's this simple thing Geoff does. 4 of him, 4 different poses, slight costume change just to differentiate. Lovely, lovely touch. I love that we come straight in on the last line of the verse. That's a really nice touch too. It's probably the thing... if you say Man of Constant Sorrow to somebody, they probably think of 2 things, which is, I am a man of constant sorrow, or through all his days, right? That ending section there. So starting in with that is nice, and it's not the more obvious of the 2. I also love, firstly, that we come in completely non-instrumental. And then this really nice touch of the guitar coming in where you'd expect days to happen. All through his days. No, it's all through his days. And that's a really, really nice bit of emphasis. It kicks this thing off in a way where it tells us, in constant sorrow all through his days. There's something about that kind of makes it almost more of an all of his life thing than it would be if you just kind of carried on. Just giving that break there changes how you hear the words. The fact that it also introduces the fact there's going to be instrumentation in this, because we get that lovely down strum of the guitar. And that sort of falling chord there, down to the bass note, is a really nice touch. And I like the fact that it also is a little bit of foreshadowing of the fact that Geoff is going to descend throughout this, and we're fairly early on going to get that first E1 sub. But I do enjoy the fact that it's kind of foreshadowed slightly by the motion of the guitar coming down, because these 4 Geoffs are in that kind of mid-range that Geoff sings oh so well. Constant sorrow all through his days. I'm a man of constant sorrow. I really, really like what he's done with the guitar here. I'm interested, it didn't mention guitar playing. Is this that native instrument again? Because if it is, holy smokes! This guitar sound is unbelievable! But I love that it's mostly actually not that... it's not tonal. It's a lot of strumming with the fingers, just holding the strings to deaden them a little bit, but not pushing them down far enough to actually, push in the fret. And he may also be doing, I'm not sure the effect, I say he may be doing, it's probably, maybe native instruments, but the other effect you can get is when you actually put the base of the palm of your hand on the strings that you're strumming, so it deadens them from the other side. One or the other is the effect that's actually kind of going on here, but it's giving that lovely kind of it's not a tonal chord every time. It's giving us something more percussive than that. And we're going to get drums, but at the beginning I thought this is, it seemed like it was all going to be done on guitar, and I have no problem with the drums. Drums were excellent, but it was cool to have that as a starting point, that the guitar was going to be doing the melody and the rhythm section. That was kind of awesome, and I like that as a start. Jumping back.
All through this day, I am a man of constant sorrow. Well, I've seen trouble on my day.
That's beautiful. I mean, what a lovely... This is a great register for Geoff to start in. It's got that lovely deep richness without showing off the bottom end that he's going to crawl down to in a minute. There's one note in here
Well, I've seen trouble.
That one's... Well, I just want to sing this to myself for a second. I am a man of constant sorrow. Well, I've seen... Seen is where I would go. I think he's going... I would go, I've seen trouble all my days. Dee, 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 dee. Yeah, I think I would sing a minor seventh there. He's going up to a major seventh, I think.
Of constant sorrow. Well, I've seen trouble.
Yeah, he is. It's not, I've seen trouble all my days, which is what I might expect. I've seen trouble. I have to think about it quite hard to sing that. Well, I've seen trouble all my days. Gives it a slightly different feel. It's very fractionally more positive sounding, which is interesting. Given the nature of the words of this song, he's turned it... It's a little bit more of a traveling song, which is kind of appropriate for what we're seeing, him walking down the tracks. I'm imagining he's kind of, traveling from town to town as a troubadour with this character or something like that, going into town, just playing at the pub and then moving on to the next one. Bit of a sort of transient character, where I've seen trouble all my days leaves it feeling a little bit more lamentative. It's a little bit more kind of sorrowful and pining. I like that change. That's really nice.
Of constant sorrow. Well, I've seen trouble on my days.
Also really nice that we get introduced to Geoff number 5 from the feet up. He just walks into frame very literally. Or at least as literally as it can be without him stepping on my computer. But it's a walk. It's the feet come into frame and he starts walking down the tracks. And we don't see him straight away. That's a really nice touch. Excuse me. Hiccups.
In trouble on my days.
That's so nice too, that we've already heard him sing harmony at the beginning, but I love that we just get this hum, and then he's back to solo again. There's something about it that's just... it's a recognition of the fact that the Geoffettes are here. They're going to be backing him up, but they're just giving Prime Geoff his moment for a second.
On my days, I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised.
That's nice too. The place where I... What is it he does?
The place where
I... So what we're getting there is we're getting in the dominant key, which in this case would be B major. We're getting, if we were in B for a second, 3, 2, 1, with that major, reinforcing that major sound. Even though it's, it could just be the place where but the place where that step down really pushes home that he is singing that major note, that in this case it would be a D sharp, as opposed to the D natural that I would expect based on my awareness of versions of this song. I really, really like that. His little bits of riffing here, these passing notes he's putting all over the place, are so good. I remember reading he would tell Lane, no, I can't do it. I think it was for Tennessee Whiskey. People were saying, he was saying, no, I can't do this. The cleanliness of his runs in this is just fantastic.
I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised, the place where
I love this fall down to the B, the place where I was born and raised, and he sits there and comes back in as a bass part of the Geoffette quartet here on that B before going down to the down there. That's really nice.
I was born and raised. The place where he was born and raised.
Oh! And there it is. That beautiful sound. Now, something else I wanted to pick up on, but I got distracted by Geoff, which I think makes sense. I like the fact that we get the guitar case, rather, coming into frame here. In this walk, because we didn't see that when we saw him from behind. We just saw his feet and the bottom of his pants. Now we can actually see the guitar case.
To old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised. The place where he...
I love that there. That wow, wow, wow. Just cutting through. A little hint of guitar, of the sort of more electric sound of the guitar, creeping in over the top of this acoustic rhythm. That's really nice. Just a little bit of a hint of what's to come. You don't necessarily even pay attention to it, or even potentially hear it, but it primes the ear to expect a change. So when we go into this very, very cool kind of country blues riff in a minute, we know it's coming, even if we don't recognize that we know it's coming.
I was born and raised.
That's really cool.
The place where he was born and raised.
And then over that awesome riff, we get this lovely pan up, Wandering Geoff. Kind of getting to see all of him, the flowers on top of the guitar case. And I love this kind of just slow look to the side. Just sort of acknowledging his surroundings, not looking at the camera. That would have been easy to film as a walk straight to camera and then have him kind of look at you. And I love that he didn't do that. It's much more effective this way. And I love this riff. This, the blues guitar lick that's going underneath. This is great. And then you get that lovely, very late drum fill to bring the drums in as well. The timing of the instrumentation in this is so good. I really, really like what he's done. This is magnificent. And I love that we have... Wandering Geoff is always moving. Like, I can't think of a point... he sits down and plays the guitar, but he's always doing something. And I love that the Geoffettes just spend their whole time just hanging out on this gate. It's really effective. And also, actually, I just want to talk about this scenery. Oh, Geoff number 1 doing a hair flick. I love this shot so much. This is... the colouring in it is beautiful. You have all these greens and browns and a little grey of the metal of this sort of sliding partition door thing behind. All those colours, and then I love that the Geoffettes are situated against this gate that stands out against everything else. You've got the lovely, sort of patina of rust along the top of the gate, but then this very kind of, it's almost eggshell blue kind of metal colour that's going on here, that just, it gives us a real sense of depth, because the gate stands out so far in front of everything that's behind. And it's a really beautiful composition of the shot for these four, and then of course the fence posts and the barbed wire and everything off to one side. But this is stunning. It's such a great location for this, and it blends really well with the shots of him walking down the tracks, because if you go back to one of those, sure, everything's out of focus here, but what do we have? We have all the greens and the browns on the sides. We have the grey of the shale that's kind of on the sides of the either side of the tracks there, and then you have wood and metal, the tracks and the sleepers, exactly as we did with the gate and the fence posts. And I think that there's just a beautiful colour match that's gone on between these two shots. Very, very well chosen. Also, the time of day that it's being filmed is gorgeous. This lovely sort of warm sunlight lighting everything up that's behind him. I doubt they did anything to light this. Maybe they did a little bit, but I feel like they really didn't need to, because there wasn't anyone... was there lighting credited in the credits? I forget now. But I feel like very little would have to be done because this light is just beautiful. Maybe a little bit to keep it consistent if they were there for a long time.
Yeah, 4, 6 long years I've been in trouble. No pleasures here on earth I've found.
That's nice too. I like that we have this. How long is it?
Yeah, 4, 6 long years I've been in trouble. No pleasures here on earth.
Yeah, the choice of when to cut. For 6 long years, we get the narrator, essentially, which is, I think, what I might call Prime Geoff in this instance. And then as you get the I've been in trouble, you get the focus on the character. It's a nice moment to focus on the character. No pleasures here, back to narrator, and then I think it's on Earth. Oh, just for I found. This gentle switch, it's not too often. It's giving us a few words of each, but it's nice because it keeps Wandering Geoff constantly in mind. And I love, like, there's some beautiful stills of this, just having even the sort of the slight messiness of having the hair in front of his eyes when he's just taken the hat off. It gives you the sense of a traveling man. It gives you a sense that this man has been walking for a while, and that's just, it's really nice. I love it.
In this world I'm bound to ramble.
I love particularly Geoff here is digging narrator Geoff right now. I love that he's just kind of, yep, we're just humming along. I get it's that expression is great. Also, the close-ups are nice because each close-up features something different. Like we've got this kind of these very spiky leaves. I'm not sure, is that some kind of palm tree or something behind Geoff here. We got that for him. You've got the door for this guy. What do we have? Door for him to... Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, just taken from a slightly different angle, but it angled so that we still get the edge of the door a little bit. So one's a bit more straight on maybe, and one's just a little bit tilted in towards Geoff 3, so that we kind of get a very similar background for him. But just different enough. Just gives us a little something. And I love this little clay water jug that he's got here. What a great touch. I'm assuming this would be fairly typical maybe at some point to have on the road. But it's not, you're not getting like a canteen or a water skin or something like that. You get this little clay jar. I really like that.
I have no friends to help me now. He has no friends to help him now.
Oh, I love this so much. We get this lovely line here.
I have no friends.
And all through this verse, we've just had this lovely... This hummed harmony coming from the Geoffettes, and then they come in on this. There's this dropout of the instrumentation, and you just get that offbeat tss of the hi-hat before they come back in. But this harmony is gorgeous. To help him now. Lovely little bit of minor descent in there. Yeah, that harmony is gorgeous. It's really, really nice. And I love that harmony is kind of pretty much what you'd expect from this song, so that melodic Geoff has a bit more freedom to kind of take a couple of liberties and take some artistic license with it. And then we get this. This is great, because this is not what you expect at all. Now we've left the specific melody behind. Fare thee well. Where did that come from? Now we're turning major to minor. It's fare thee well. Or not major to minor exactly, but it's creating the chord he's created there. Fare thee well. It's fare thee well. We'd normally be back on the tonic there, and that emphasis on the third makes it feel way more minor, whereas it's probably the same chord, more, well, not quite the same. He's taking some harmonic liberties underneath, but we're in the same basis of where we would be if we were listening to the song normally, but he's changed that chord up in such an interesting way.
I never expect to see you again, yeah.
Oh, that's just... I love what he's done with this. It's different, but it fits. It's still completely within the vibe of Man of Constant Sorrow. He's not taken us out of it at all, but he's gone his own completely unique way with how he sounds that out. And it's just stunning. Really, really nice work there. And I like little liberties on the solo section as well when he comes back in again. Well, I never expect... Like, it doesn't spin... I'm trying to think... It's almost like he's reversed that never expect to see you again. But it's never expect... He's kind of doing it in reverse. That's really nice. That's really, really nice, because he changes it up. He kind of goes off on the same tangent, but changes it up the second time around and gives us something, again, different. He's keeping this so interesting, because it is a song that kind of does the same thing again and again, and the changes he's put in this are spectacular, and I really applaud what he's done with this. It's really, really nice. And I like that he goes down here and hits this B, and you expect it to be a perhaps I'll die upon this tree. And he'll go down to that E1, and he doesn't. He goes up into this next section. And you can sort of tell what he's strumming here too, which is nice. What do we got there? I think we've got an E minor chord going on there, which makes complete sense. That's what he would be playing. I love that you actually see the strings vibrate, like he's obviously struck a chord on the guitar, like that E string, the top string, which is the lowest on the guitar, pitch-wise, is naturally tuned to E. So unless he drop-tuned it for some reason, which would make no sense, which means that you take that string and tune it lower. So, for example, you could tune a guitar so that the 5 strings are all the same, but instead of being an E, the lowest string is tuned to a D. That would be called drop D tuning. Assuming he hasn't done that, which I think we can safely do so because it's in the right chord, then that's an open E string he's playing, and that string will have a lot of natural vibration, and I love that he's struck the chord. You can see that natural vibration. It adds an element to this, whether or not he's actually, I mean, he's got the right fingering there to be playing an E minor chord, which is just the second and third string from the top. You add in that those 2 on the 2nd fret, which would be what his middle and ring fingers are holding down at the moment. And that gives you an E minor chord. Incredibly simple. Whether he's playing anything else on this, I don't know. Has he been learning the guitar? Who's to say? You guys will probably be able to tell me, because of course I haven't seen any BTS, so do let me know. But I assume this is probably a VST, based on his previous use of VSTs. Please tell me if I'm wrong about that. It's just really nice to see here, they're actually within the boundaries of this music video, some live guitar playing. That's really cool. His head movements in time with this camera, like he and Lane are working together so well here. As it pans up so that we would be able to see his face, he looks up and we get to see his face. That's just gorgeous. And I love too So one of the basic rules of photography that you learn very, very early on when you're doing it is the rule of thirds, which is if you have a subject, it is more interesting, rather than placing them dead center in a frame, you want them to be a third in on either side. And traditionally, they look into the image, by which I mean the direction their eyes are pointing. That direction is where the 2/3 is, and the 1/3 is behind them, which might obviously not necessarily be behind. If I'm looking this way, the 2/3 would be this way because that's the way I'm looking, and the 1/3 would be that way. So in this case, I would be framed. Can't see my hands, but I would be framed like that, looking this way. What we've got here is Geoff is looking off screen as the camera has panned in such a way he's now on the other third. And what's really nice about that is, and I should add, those are simply the rules you get taught so that you can break them, right? And that's what's happening here. Is it's like the camera is moving away and carrying on its move past Geoff, and it's going to take him off screen, and of course we cut away before it does. But there's something about this composition right here before we cut away of him looking off frame, not in frame, that's really, really nice. And which we just get this, we're familiar with the background, we get this lovely bit of sort of desolate grassland behind him. And there's something about it that to me adds to the loneliness. That's just really cool. I like it. Really nice shot composition here. And he starts. That's so nice too. Right here, if the camera carried on moving and he did not move his head, he would be looking into frame. But instead, he turns away and allows the camera to move past him. Really nice touch.
Now, take me to the water. Let me wash my sin away. Oh, I've been traveling down this.
That's such a simple bridge too. I think that's why it works so well. Da 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 da. It's 3 notes. 3 notes. That's it. And it's such an effective line.
Now, take me to the water. Let me wash my sin away. Oh, I've been traveling down this road, and how my soul is gone astray. I can feel.
That's so nice. It really works so very well, and it's the simplicity that makes it work well. The Man of Constant Sorrow's melody is not complicated. He has complicated it beautifully for his purposes with some of these harmonies. But the bass melody that this song is based off isn't complicated at all. I am a man of constant sorrow. Da 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 da. It's all within 5 notes. The whole thing. And so to compress that slightly and write a bridge melody that is based around 3, not exclusively, he breaks out of it, goes up and down, but is based almost exclusively on 3 notes, keeps it in an even tighter shape, which makes it work really, really well to interject in the middle of this thing, because it keeps the verses as the interesting part. This is just a transition between point A2 and point A3. But it fits in so well because he's kept it even tighter within the bounds of the bass melody of the song itself. Really smartly done. And then we get this lovely harmony line.
Traveling down this road, and how my soul is gone astray. I can feel it like a bullet, no matter where I tread.
There again, feel it like a bullet no matter where I tread. It's 3 notes again. I'm rushing it obviously just for time. You're not here to listen to me sing, you're here to listen to Geoff sing. But that again, it's even though we've got more harmony now, and there are 3 harmony lines in there at least, but they're all just moving in this same tight formation. And it's keeping that compression of the melody line down. And it's really, really helping to fit this in and make it sound so smooth within the song.
I can feel it like a bullet, no matter where I tread. All my days I have been running from these ghosts within my head.
And then a lovely ghost within my head, go! Lovely, lovely little line just coming through at the end there.
All my days I have been running from these ghosts within my head.
Beautiful. And then that merge As the ghost within my head, as that fades away, you get, oh, you coming back in again. That overlap of those two lines is brilliant, and it just smooths that transition back into the song as it already exists. That is brilliant. Well done, Geoff.
Running from these ghosts within my head. You can bury me in some deep valley for many years where I'm baby.
Is he actually playing this? Because this I could believe. You know, it's as not knowing his guitar progression, and whether or not he's actively been trying to learn. Like, it looks relatively legit to somebody who isn't a guitar expert.
Here's where I'm then you may
Oh, that underneath that. Octave unison. Many years where, and then coming back in on this lay, a beat late, which is lovely. Lay, 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 lay. That chord underneath is stunning. That lay coming in there, just giving it this rich bluesy tone. And I love that it holds on through that. We get a single beat's rest, and then they come in on a much more complete chord. Complete's the wrong word. A much more kind of foundational chord. It doesn't have that additional blues note in there. It's just now supporting the chord that would be under the song.
Here's where I'm
Just want to hear what he was singing there too.
Then you may learn to love another while I am sleeping in my grave. While he is sleeping in his grave.
Oh, so many nice things. I mean, what are that lovely bass note down there? That's beautiful. That, I think, it's such a lovely note there, isn't it? While he's sleeping in his grave, that it's so far down, it's 6 feet under, and so coming right down onto that rich note down the bottom for that is perfect. I didn't go back far enough to that.
While I am sleeping in my grave. While he is sleeping in his grave.
Oh, that's so good too, because especially because he's, you know, sleeping in my grave. He holds grave on for quite a while underneath.
Sleeping in my grave. While he is sleeping.
Yeah, he holds it on for a full bar, and so you expect that from the Geoffettes, and you get this grave and boom. And they just they go rigidly back into tempo, cut it short, push it forwards again. It's such a nice choice. I really like that. And you should get that little tambourine hit in the background. That's fun. But it's nice, and I like that slide up the grave. It's a nice there. I think it's the reinvigorate, because we've dropped back a little bit, right? We've peeled things away, we're in a slightly calmer tone for a minute, and now we're going to push back in again. And having that break just for a beat is so effective at allowing it to then come back in, back up to pace. Ooh. I like that harmony at the top. Maybe your friends think. Nice harmony at the top. Just heard it. This harmony here is beautiful. I can't break it down. I haven't got enough time to go through all of that. But I absolutely love what's going on here. It's just beautiful, the harmony that he's put into this song.
Maybe your friends think I'm just a stranger. My face you'll never see no more.
And it's so great because it allows this guitar underneath to just be this junk, ka-junk, junk, ka-junk, junk, junk, ka-junk, junk, because he's doing all the work above it. All the harmony, all the motion is above him, and that guitar is back to being percussion again. Toned percussion, quietly, yes, but it's not the supporting harmony instrument. It's not what's keeping all of the richness of the breadth in this song alive. It's just sitting down there, strumming away, keeping tempo, keeping this cool rhythm going, getting us ready for the next step. And all the work is coming from the Geoffettes, and it's crazy beautiful. Just want to see where those drums come back in again. Sorry, jumping around there. I'm just a stranger. My face you'll never see no more. I think, was it just there? I'm tricking myself. Maybe your friends think I'm just a stranger. My face you'll never see no more. Yeah, I think it's just there. There's a hit, and it just they come back in quietly. I think that's it. Woo! This harmony here, but there is. He's really going off on his own here, and I am here for it. This is so good. Like, what he's done with this song is take it so far away from where it originated while sitting exactly in where it originated. I don't know how to express it any better than that. He's doing his own thing, and his own thing, if you played me this, and I'd never heard another version of this song, I would think it was right. I mean, it is right, sorry, that's the wrong word. I would think this is what it always was. Because he's just nailed the style so well in his own personal harmonies. This is incredible. The only thing that it caught my ear when I was listening through it the first time, and it just caught my ear again, is because of the pace he is singing this at, God's is cut off. God's golden shore. I wish it had somehow just had a little bit more on that. The disappearing so quickly. God's golden shore. I would prefer, but God's golden shore. It's clipped. It's so clipped. And it doesn't quite sit right with me. And the fact that I'm even saying that seems ridiculous, because it really doesn't matter. But it catches my ear, and it just pulls me for a second out of the sort of reverie of being in this song. See, that pronunciation of God's that time, because it's not God's golden, God's golden. It's just long enough that it sits a bit more comfortably with me. I love this like extended bell chord effect of the he'll meet you on, he'll meet you on, he'll meet you on, whatever it is that they're actually singing. Second one does something slightly different. Golden shore. He'll meet you on, God's golden shore. Woo! Oh, all the things going on here. Wow! I mean, for one, that, obviously. Who doesn't love an E1 coming from Geoff to end a song? I want to go back there. That was the wrong bit. So that's interesting. We have a B major triad second inversion there. No, we don't. Yes, we do. Yeah, we go to a second inversion B major triad with the formation that those have, because first Geoff is actually singing slightly higher than third Geoff, in the black, who actually comes in underneath him on the F sharp, and then you got the D sharp of the last one, and then they resolve out into that lovely typical da 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 pattern that goes into this. But except you don't get that last note, you get this stunning E1 from narrator Geoff, and then you get we get a suspended sixth to finish the song off. Sure. That is gorgeous! That is not what I would have expected. I don't know what I would have expected. Although something more dissonant than that, I think. But he hits that lovely C sharp in there before resolving back to the B that's in the primary key. Sure. While everyone else is settled. Sure, sure, sure. Down there. I can't sure. No, I can't do that on such a closed throat. Actually, that's also something that's worth mentioning. The fact that he can sound these subharmonics on such a closed vowel. It's one thing to be no, I can't. My throat's not there today. But singing down low, la, you can get so much more air out on an open mouth. So sure, which is a very, very round closed mouth. It's beautiful. And I love that the final shot that we get is him walking past this gorgeous locomotive before he just fades out of being. And was he ever there? Or was he the spirit of a man just walking around? Or the memory of this character? I don't know, but this is a stunning locomotive. What a beautiful thing to film against. And I do love about this that we have this very kind of used green, you know, with all the kind of streaks on it, and this very kind of, it's seen some work in its day, but you have this beautiful bell that looks freshly painted. I don't know if it has been or not, but that lovely bell on top, and then the white chimney that again is seeing the signs of some wear, some cracking of the paint, a little bit of rust. And then I'm assuming it looks like there might be a station behind. I'm looking specifically at this little bit here, which I think might be the roof of a little station. But what a beautiful spot to end this on, and that gorgeous golden sun off in the color. In the color? Corner. Try that again. Giving us this little lens flare. Wow! Well, I just need to listen to that ending again. Sorry. I'm not doing this for any reason other than I want to hear it again. That's really nice too. The down thing, down and then sliding back up again. Oh, that's really lovely. That's when I'll just go back again. Maybe your friends think I'm just a stranger. My face you'll never see no more. Oh, I forgot to comment again on that bell chord too. That's really, and there's something. You'll never see no more. Never see no. We're closing. Do you hear that? Of course you. Why am I asking that? Of course you hear it. You're listening to it with me. See is like full breath. No, he's starting to compress it down. The vocal lines come in and tighten up, and then we get more. Just the one note before we hit this bell code. I need more coffee. Bell chord. But we get that C, no, more, compressing down the number of harmonies and the breadth of the harmony that we're hearing. That's beautiful. My face you'll never see no more. Oh, I like that too, right at the end. Mo. Never see no more. Never see no more. It's just a momentary shift into the dominant. You just get this more. It's almost like a bum, bum, bum. Just that quick shift for half a beat onto the dominant chord and then back out for but. And again, we get that passing to but. Did I just comment on that? I can't remember. But it's so nice with the motion. Mohuba, Mohuba. That high line just moving up into but, the end of but. That's gorgeous.
There is one promise that is given. Will I meet you on God's golden shore? He'll meet you on God's golden shore.
And I love over the fade, you get that bow, 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 bow. And that is the proper amount of time to let a video sit at the end. Actually, if anything, that might have been a second long. But I love that it just sat on silence so that you can finish enjoying it before it moves away into something else. I'm such a stickler for that. A song needs to sit. I'm one of those people who, I even buck the trend at, you know, kind of more jazz and rock concerts. If I wait for things to finish before I start applauding. You know, maybe sometimes if it's one of those things where you've got at the back, the drummer's just going, you know, I'm waiting, and you have the guitarist there waiting, boom. I don't wait for that the whole time before I start applauding. That sort of seems a little bit unnecessary. But to me, it's respectful to wait for a second to start applauding after a piece is finished, and therefore, to me, also, I want a piece like this to sit for a moment in silence at the end before we go on to whatever message from the creator. I've talked about that a lot on this channel. It's one of those things I tend to point out. I think mostly I've pointed out once when it was done right, but I pointed it out more when it's done wrong, because it does pull me out of what's going on. That was lovely, and what a gorgeous visual. Again, I said it already, that train is such a nice thing, and the fact that we just have that gentle pan out and then just sit there for a second and then cut away. That, to me, is ideal. I think that's perfect. This is also a really cool logo. I know somebody said to me a long time ago, and I've always forgot to follow up on it, that gramophones tend to feature in Geoff's videos. And I keep forgetting to look for them, but this logo is very, very cool. I really, really like that. And then on we go, and we get that lovely strum underneath. That is just wonderful. And I'm just going to sit on this final shot for a second. I don't know what else to say. That is a absolutely phenomenal cover. Geoff outdid himself with this one. I think that is my favorite version of this song, hands down. I think it just, everything that he did with it, the way he took it to be his own, without veering away from what the song is and where the song came from, was masterful. And that's not always the easiest thing to do. But if you stuck that, 50 years ago, and had it sung like that, I mean, the harmonies might sound a bit weird because they'd be too contemporary. It wasn't quite so dissonant back then. But at the same time, the feel of it, I think, would feel right. I really think it would. And that's an incredible thing to be able to do, to fit it so well into its oeuvre while making it so unique in the process. Well done, Geoff. Seriously. Super Future David here, coming back in with a quick outro because of the change to this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, despite the missing reaction part. Please do like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel where you'll get proper reaction analyses. Do hit the notification bell to decide how often you would like to see my videos announced on your feed. And if you would care to, please do head over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts in order to support the channel. And I would be very grateful if you choose to do so, but no pressure. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope that you have a wonderful afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time it is. And thanks for being here and supporting this video despite the missing parts of it. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.